I believe that relationships are just mirrors of yourself. So if
Hmm.
you look at your partner and they're miserable, rather than thinking like this, what is this miserable, person? Um, what is it within you? Like not you, like I think this about myself. I'm like, what is it within me that is reflecting misery back to me? Like
Yeah.
sometimes I think that.
Yeah, and I think also it's like if the person really is a miserable person, why were you attracted to a miserable person?
Exactly.
Right?
So yeah, even if you're not necessarily the source, there's always some blame for yourself. Even if you
Yeah.
truly are dating some type of like psychopath, narcissist, why did you go there, So you're
Yeah.
100% correct. There's always some self-blame there, no matter how extreme it is,
Yeah. And
you know.
because I actually want to go into this because like I mean
Yeah,
it's not
sure.
even about blaming the person, but like
Yeah.
there's so many channels now talking about NPD, which
What's
is
NPD?
a narcissistic personality disorder.
Oh, yeah, it's
And
it's over it's overdone.
yeah, and
Yeah.
so many people want to complain their ex is a narcissist, this and
Yeah.
that. And like, I coach guys in relationships a
Yeah.
lot. And like you hear this from men too. You hear it more from women, I think, in the culture, but like men will complain
Yeah.
about, especially anxious attached men will often complain about their ex or their partner or their soon to be ex-wife or something being a narcissist. But it's like, maybe that's true. Maybe she fits all the checklists, but like, why did you put up with it for
Yeah.
5 years? Right.
Yeah.
Like, because a healthy, secure person wouldn't. And, with the basics of, say, attachment theory, I assume you're familiar, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I I am an anxiously attached person. I know that. So
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I assume your listeners are probably familiar. It's like, you can blame a person for being so avoidant, but like there's something in you that was interested in such a person, or maybe
yeah.
like particularly interested to a guy who's like overly aloof and not giving you emotional validation. Like, why were you so into him? So there's something that you could have worked on in yourself where if you were really secure, you wouldn't even be interested in a guy who's not returning your messages, let's
I
say.
think like going back to the Carl Jung and the integration of the shadow, and things are going to come out no matter what. Like if you try to suppress things,
Hmm.
they're going to come out. As somebody who I feel that's why I'm in SLA, because I'm trying to heal that part of me that is anxiously attached to people. I think for me, I can speak from experience. The reason why I had been attracted to avoidant people is because my psychology is trying to solve that. Like the only
Hmm.
way for me to solve the pain of um being afraid of being abandoned is to be abandoned and understand and like feel that pain and understand like
Hmm.
what am I so afraid. So it's like my subconscious, I think, is just like trying to go into it as a way to try to get
Yeah.
out. Hasn't worked so far, but I believe that's why people are attracted to those people. But you're right.
Yeah.
Instead of coming from it from a place of blame, it's like you have to reach that point of like self-awareness where you realize what you're doing and why you're attracted to this person, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Because there's a lot. I mean, I guess the real takeaway is like there's a lot more within your control than this jerk
Yeah.
that you're dating. Actually, do you know the show Bluey?
Mm-mm.
Oh, anyway, it's like one of the more popular kids shows right now, and I love it because like they have like these really deep like side plots. Like the show is like kids being silly, whatever, but like there's
Yeah.
like messages in for the parents. Anyway, one of the episodes is about trauma, and like this boy who thought his mom abandoned him
Mm-hmm.
in like the play place, but he really just got mixed up. Like he's now 8 years old. It's 5 years later, but he can't help like wanting to recreate situations where his friends abandon him and all of this stuff. And I think most like 3 year olds watching it they're not understanding that part. But they went
Yeah.
into this thing where the teacher goes up to him is like, you know what's here. You don't have to keep coming back to this place. I might not be
Yeah.
explaining it well because it's all shown
No,
in the
I
cartoon,
understand
but
what you're
like,
saying, and
yeah.
I can relate. Like I'm the adult version of that, like from what I
Hmm.
just said. And I often ask myself, why do I keep needing to go back here? Like what the hell is that? Like I think I'm ready to go on to something else, but like there's just something about it where it's like I don't know if it's an obsession, like a rumination. I don't know, like maybe obsessed people have issues with that, but it's like yeah, some people like to just keep returning back to the problem,
Hmm. Yeah,
Weird.
and there's a lot of like theories about it, whether it's Jungian or not. Actually, have you heard of this book,
Mhm.
The Games People Play?
I've heard of
It's
it,
from
but
the
I don't.
70s. I
I've heard
would
of it.
recommend it. I think you would like it. It's a very simple read. It's by the guy who invented transactional analysis, which is
Yeah.
one of these branches of psychology. And it
Yeah.
was really influential in the 70s with people like Jim Rohn, who was Tony Robbins' mentor, and a lot of that advice comes from this kind of framework. But anyway,
Yeah.
his basic idea is that we play these psychological games on ourselves where we repeat patterns because it gives us a sense of familiarity. Like he was
Yeah.
even arguing against AA that um, uh, someone with an alcohol problem or a substance problem, what they're addicted to is not the substance, or there's many justifications, like they're trying to relieve their pain or
Yeah.
whatever, but what they're really addicted to is feeling shitty about harming their family after they drink. Like that's the thing they want to return to. Like they're looking for
Oh.
a way to get punished again because for some reason is giving them comfort, to have their loved ones be
Oh.
like, why did you drink again? Like, why did you lie to us again? Like that's actually the payoff. And I don't know. I have read that one book, so I don't know enough. But like his idea was like if your son is an alcoholic, let's say, punishing him is actually reinforcing the problem. You need to, I forget exactly, but you need to give him a different payoff. Like you need to say like, okay, you can drink, you go on a bender, you can lie to us, but like we're not going to give you that emotional reward in quotes of yelling at you anymore. And that
Yeah.
kind of interrupts the pattern.
Huh, interesting. I'm like thinking about how I could apply that to myself as well, because it's like I can relate to that too. If I really analyze it that way, it's like if I'm dating people that are not available, I might be addicted to I guess the heartbreak in a sense, because that's more for because in a way, like being in a healthy relationship, it would force me to like have trust, and like it would be the unknown in a way. It would be like
Yeah.
I've never had a very healthy relationship. So I don't know what that's like. It's almost easier to return to heartbreak because I already know what to expect there, you know?
Yeah, and like we all are drawn to drama, right? Like I
Yeah.
forget I think it's John Gottman said,
Yeah.
the relationship guy, that good relationships have lower lows. It's like you would never see a rom-com about a really healthy relationship because there's no drama, right?
Yeah.
They're not hurting each other. There's no like, end all is lost moment. But you get a lot of that in dramatic relationships that aren't actually that fulfilling, but they stimulate the same part of us that wants to watch Netflix in a way.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I think that that's probably accurate, the addiction to heartbreak or something.
Yeah. Man, I got a lot of work to do.